Hello and welcome back to Invincible Asia. I'm George from Movie Misfit, and this is another video of how to frame your posters. So after sharing with you my last video of how to frame and display your Kung Fu Bob and Sean Longmore A3 posters from the 88 Films Blu-ray releases, I had a lot of feedback, which was wonderful. Thank you very much for your support, and it was nice to see a lot of you going out there and getting those A3 size art files to display your posters in. It's wonderful to see. I'm glad to have been of service, I suppose, so those posters aren't kept wrapped up in their Blu-ray cases for the rest of their days. But a lot of you were asking me, what about the bigger pictures? What about the larger, sort of bigger sized 88 Films posters, such as Armor of God and Seventh Curse, and then as well as the Eureka posters, which are a similar size to those larger 88 ones. I also think Vinegar Syndrome, theirs is about the same size as Eureka's normal release would be, and the larger 88 Films. So after searching for ages for the perfect frame to fit these posters, obviously I'd shown you in my last video that I already have some of those framed. The only frame, apart from going down the line of getting the frames made, which actually works out really expensive, would you think about it, I did a few measurements, headed down to IKEA of all places, and I found the Fiskbo 40 by 50 centimeter frame. As you can see, Fiskbo here. Now there's a bit of trimming involved, which I'm sure a lot of you may curse and spit to the ground thinking, how dare he? But the only way really for me, as I found searching the shops for the right frame, is that this is the perfect one. It also has a frame similar in size and shape to these Poundland frames that I've showed you before. And this is £5 a frame in IKEA. It comes with a cardboard backing with a couple of little clips on there. I'm not too sure how well they're going to show up. And they hang quite well. Now, another question that I had been asked was, how do I hang these pictures behind me? There's a lot of measuring involved. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but you need a pretty big ruler or a tape measure to get these kind of right. What I use are these bad boys here, and they were only like maybe a couple of pound off Amazon. Now I'll show you when I'm putting them up after in the video here. I'm going to show you. They're very, very easy. And again, because I'm putting mine onto a stud wall, I don't want to be whacking big nails through there, which is going to just break it up and destroy things. So these little tiny pin clips are wonderful. They have the little hook on them that you can adjust these ones in particular onto the hook. It's a wee bit of work sometimes when you're trying to get above other ones, but anyway, you'll find a way. It becomes easier. These larger ones though, the Fiskbo ones, these clips in particular don't really sit too well on the hooks, on the plastic hooks. They don't get into the groove. So with these ones, I do use tiny nails, because these are quite light. They're not pulling too hard on the nails. They're not going to wreck the stud wall, but I would say like a little tiny nail, probably about a centimeter to an inch long, does the job when putting this up. So that's the Fiskbo 40 by 50 centimeter frame from IKEA for your larger 88 Films, Eureka and Vinegar Syndrome posters. And I'm going to show you now what it is you will need to trim to make your poster fit. Okay, so to make this frame work for your larger posters, first we gotta remove the backing just by peeling back these little clips. Just be very, very careful because they can be quite sharp and cut. Pop this out. Again, that's just really a cardboard sheet with these little clips on them, and you just want to keep that safe because it is a fragile, it's a cheap frame, not as cheap as the Poundland ones, but it is quite fragile. Inside you get the page that is advertising, of course, what kind of frame it is. I like to keep this so I can back the poster with it and just make it a wee bit more secure and thicker. Inside the frame itself comes wrapped in 2 sheets of protective plastic wrapping, as you can see. So what you want to do is find a loose corner And then once you get that corner, it's pretty tricky, but once you get that, peel that film back and just remove that sheet altogether. And it'll be the same on the other side. So the poster I'm going to be framing is this gorgeous Tiger Claws trilogy poster from Vinegar Syndrome. This poster itself is actually much bigger. You can see there's quite a loss either end here, probably a good 1.5 inches either end, maybe an inch, let's say 1.5 inches on either side there. This is much bigger than the likes of 88's Armour of God, Seventh Curse posters, or Eureka's Millionaire's Express, One Arm Boxer, those kind of things. So really, when it comes to the Fiskbo frame, and if you want to frame these bigger posters, you really have to take the chance of what it is you want to lose, what you want to cut. Now, normally with the Eureka and 88 larger posters, I can set that frame right on the bottom and only take a slight trimming off each side here. Apart from that, there's probably only about this much at the top of the Eureka and 88 films that you need to cut. It's really deciding what you want to keep. So I'm going to try and center this one as much as I possibly can. And then, of course, what you want to do is take a pencil, just draw around the edges here, because you're going to have to trim. And you want to try and make that line, keep it as solid and straight as you possibly can, because that is where you need to be very careful when it comes to cutting this thing and making it work for you. Now, to be honest, I never imagined that this poster itself would be overly big for the Fiskbo frame, but I've kind of framed all of my Eureka stuff and larger 88 films posters, so I had nothing to show you as an example but this. I don't mind cutting it up per se. Of course, on the back you have the original kind of 90s artwork, but it is a stunning piece of art, and I do want to get it into a frame and up there. It could, I'm sure that I could find a frame for this particular poster that will fit it without cutting it, but just for the sake of showing you, I want to go through what it is you need to do for this. Okay, so that's trimmed. It still looks the part. I still think there's enough in that. I've lost a bit more than I wanted, but as I said, with the 88 films and the Eureka posters, you will not lose as much as I've just cut off from this. So back to the frame itself. We are going to layer this up. First of all, of course, the frame, followed by the glass and the plastic, sorry, back in. So this is a bit more of a sturdier glass front or plastic front than the Poundland ones. We're going to turn that round. Just pop that in there. And again, back it with the original piece that came from it, because it just gives it a wee bit more thickness and security, that whenever you put it on the wall, it looks a wee bit more solid. And then remember what way your poster is up, so you have the hanging clip the right way around. Seal all your little clips, of course. I shouldn't need to tell you that part, but hey. Bring that down, and voila, here we have this gorgeous poster, framed and looking spectacular. Of course, the longer that stays in this frame itself, the quicker it is going to lose those creases. So there we go, the Fiskbo frame from IKEA. That is the one that you need to fit your bigger posters into. £5 a frame, a little tiny bit of trimming with the Eureka and 88. The Vinegar Syndrome ones though, just a slight bit more, but not a major loss. So to put the picture on the wall, you just take one of these little hook jobbies that I showed you. Of course, before I put all these frames on this new wall, I had pre-measured where every hook was going to go. So I've got a little dot just waiting for me here. There's a hole right in the center, and you can see through it where you're supposed to put it. Pop it in there. Few wee whacks, and then get the picture up. And then of course, remember for the big pictures, I'm using a nail, probably about an inch long nail, just because the hooks on the little plastic jubbies don't really catch the back of these larger frames easy enough. This makes life much, much simpler. And then so there we go, folks. I hope that gives you some more ideas as to what you can do with your larger posters from Idiot Films, Eureka Films, Vinegar Syndrome, and any others that are slightly oversized. As you can see, Tiger Claws looks amazing up there. I have now almost filled my second wall of the studio, which I'm not happy about, I have to say, because I know there's a lot more to come from the likes of Kung Fu Bob, Sean Longmore, and other artists, Darren Wheeling and things like that. So yes, very fast running out of space. If the A3 posters keep coming, I'm happy enough to put them into my art files, as I've shown you before. But if the larger ones keep coming, I really don't know what I'm going to have to do. I might have to get up on the ceiling and start framing shit to the roof here. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Get out there to IKEA if there's one nearby you. Check out the Fisco 40 by 50 centimeter frames for your larger pictures and posters, sorry. And yes, head on over to invincibleasia.com to check out as many movie reviews as I can possibly write about. Follow me on Instagram at invincibleasia and at Movie Misfit, and don't forget to check out the other videos here on the channel, such as my untold stories, unboxing and review videos, show and tells, and so much more. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy your Kung Fu, and I will see you soon.